Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Ad Food Ad Revival podcast. We're bringing you a brand new look today because we're always trying to improve our podcast. I hope you like the setup. Today, here with me is Logan, and we're going to be talking about exploring intimacy. How are you, Logan?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. So Exploring Intimacy is a collection of international short films that are all about exploring intimacy and sexual freedom, sexual identity, and how you interact with, I think, just sex in general. But yeah, it was a very interesting collection. What did you think?
I thought they were all, to be honest, quite fantastic films. They all showed a very different aspect of intimacy and very different perspectives, which I thought was quite, interesting in general. Going through the films and sitting through each of them, I didn't really know what to expect, especially looking at, just the name, Exploring Intimacy. It's such a wide open field to explore different nuances. And I just thought that it was an interesting set of films.
Yeah, it definitely was. Why don't we start with Souvenir, which was a story about two girlfriends on vacation, and while they're having sex, the other partner takes a picture of her girlfriend in the middle of sex, and she doesn't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, it's something that's quite, again, not what I expected, since it's a negative side of things. And it really showed that boundaries are a very tricky thing. And when it comes to sex and even simple things with your partner, establishing boundaries is very important.
Yeah.
And the one being very pushy and the one being quite reserved, it was an interesting way to look at it. And the progression through the story was interesting, with her realizing how she felt in the moment, whereas at that second she didn't know how to feel. A fantastic film in the way it was shot, and the actors were fantastic as well. The anger that she was feeling inside about it was just portrayed so excellently, and I just thought that it was a very interesting story.
Yeah, no, it was a really good look at like you said, boundaries, but especially even just the concept of saving photos of your partner in a vulnerable moment. I think that's very pertinent to today.
Well, yeah.
But it was a very interesting look at it, because I feel like they left the characters kind of morally ambiguous. Like, there are probably people who agree with the main character for her actions, and then there's other people that probably agree with the girlfriend for her actions and
sympathize.
Yeah, it just leaves you with a lot to talk about and a lot to discuss. But yeah, it was really good. Why don't we move on to Touch Me With Your Eyes, which was a soundscapey type film.
So the film starts with just complete darkness and only dialogue with subtitles. And at first I was like, okay, this is a really interesting and a quite bold move, because, quite often in films it's all about, the pizzazz they put into something.
Yeah.
But to start with that and just dialogue, and you're reading through and you're seeing how this person feels, and they're explaining how when they were a child, they were scared of the dark, and they used to listen to the sounds of the house, their parents talking, and when their parents went to bed, just the creaks and all the bits that you just hear around the house, and it would help them feel comforted in a scared moment. And then throughout the film, they show them with their partner, and it's a lovely sort of, it's about comfortability, I think, with their partner, and the love they feel together, the comfort they share in each other.
Yeah, and that's true intimacy, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course. And what really stuck out to me was, it was a particular scene, and they simply lie in bed, and you can hear both of their breathing. And throughout the movie, all the audio is just amped up, so you can hear every little thing, and it's just them led together, comfortable together, and it's just their breathing. And I think it truly reflects how a true relationship would be.
Yeah.
Two lovers and the comfort they find in each other.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was quite a nice film in the mix of in a mix of films that showed very different things, and like we said with Souvenir, where that showed quite a negative, angry side, this was quite tender and loving.
Yeah, it was really sweet. Yeah, a really nice, like, soft look at, like, comfort, like you said. One of the next ones was Damp, which was about a physically disabled man who has caretakers taking care of him and desiring for sexual freedom.
And, I mean, falling in love with one of his carers and wanting something with them, but not being able to express that, and wanting both freedom to be intimate with someone, but also just freedom in general of the confines of their own disability. And and you see with the mother, which you find overbearing, she comes in and you can see in his eyes he just wants to be alone with this carer, and the carer is a very kind person throughout, and you can feel a sort of connection between them, even if it's not romantic from his side.
Yeah.
But they care for each other.
Yeah.
And the mother comes in overbearing, and I suppose you can connect both that freedom and want for intimacy and love, and to just freedom from the situation that they're in, the fact that they need carers, the fact that they want more. I think that was a very interesting and very different way to look at wanting intimacy.
No, it was a very, I feel like a very universal message coming from it was like ownership of your body as well. At what point does expressing your sexuality become an identity thing, and because he was physically disabled and basically being smothered by both of his carers, his mom and this other man, he felt like he couldn't do anything. Like he felt like trapped, which I think was they did it very viscerally in the film, and I feel like it was like you could really feel his sadness, frustration and sadness, and I think it was really a really beautiful film about like taking ownership of your own body.
And to have a film from a disabled perspective as well is just brilliant. And that sort of representation, I find, is very important.
It definitely is, yeah. We'll move on to our last film, which is Clementine.
Yes.
Which Clementine was very fun. That was a very, very much a lighter note.
Yeah,
Yeah, about a trans femme person who is exploring whether or not they feel like they need bottom surgery.
I find that that's a very, I mean, it's obviously a very delicate subject, because femininity in itself is something that should be explored more and explored more freely. And I feel like the film does it in a way that uplifts people.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And I feel like it's very important when showing femininity that it should be uplifting. And throughout the film, you see that this person was getting sexualized by a lot of men, and it was like more of a rough set of intimacy and intimate relationships that they had. But she goes home and obviously speaks to one of her cis friends and asks what it's like to have a vagina.
Yeah.
And the fact that that was spoken about, I found it was quite powerful. And even as a cis man myself, I found it was moving. It was moving in a way.
I definitely found it moving. It was a really like beautiful exploration of femininity, but also like an interesting line that I think they like towed was the fact that the main character felt drawn to having a vagina and whether or not she needed bottom surgery, but throughout the film they also reassured her and were like, it doesn't make you any less of a woman. You don't need it.
No. And
that's I think that's a really important message, especially and I think they did it really well in the balance of it, because they were like, look how beautiful and wonderful this is to be feminine and to be a woman, but also this is not the only thing that makes you a woman.
And it was sort of a struggle whether they wanted it for themselves or for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you should never do anything for anyone else. It should always be for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important thing, a message to put
Yeah.
out, that only do things for you, never please other people.
Mm-hmm.
You should always think of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a film like that with also a mix of comedy, and it was very funny.
It was really funny.
I think that it did truly express itself correctly with that comedy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though it's funny, the things that they're joking about are still serious commentary about the situation that the character is in. And I just thought that was just a beautiful film.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and also just the way that the design of everything, like it starts out very normal, and you think, oh, this is just like set in a sunny apartment, and like they're just gonna be chatting. But then they switch it to be a little bit more whimsical, and it gets very like
surreal.
Yeah, and it was just very fun, a very pretty film as well. Yeah. But thank you so much for talking about Exploring Intimacy with me. This was a great collection of films. And thank you so much for watching the Advocate Revival podcast, which is brought to you by the Performance and Media students in association with the Iris Prize Film Festival here at the University of South Wales.